Hello dear students, I am Manzur Morshed, Assistant English Teacher, Hossain High School, Srinagar, Michigan. I welcome all of you to our live classes. I hope all of you are safe and sound at home. Now today's class is one of the most beautiful poems, Stopping by on its meaning, and it is part 2. In the previous class, we have discussed about the poems, and there is one stanza is left for today in part 2. So let's get started. Our last stanza of the poem. Here you can see in the fourth stanza, the first line, the woods are lovely, dark and deep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So from the first line, the woods are lovely, dark and deep. The poet here describes the forest in 3 words. The woods is lovely, the woods is dark, and the wood is also deep. So what does the word implies? First of all, lovely. The woods is very fine, beautiful, charming, and dark, because this is the darkest evening of the year, and there is no moonlit night, and all around there is dark, and nothing can be seen. And deep. Here deep means there is the woods is covered with trees and trees, endless area, endless roads. This is called deep. And second line, but I have promises to keep. Promises means here duties and responsibilities of life. So from the first 2 lines we can understand the woods is very lovely, it's very beautiful, charming. Second is dark, and third is deep. So the woods is so much charming to the poet that he stopped to the woods to take rest, and the woods is very appealing to the poet that he was spellbound standing in the wood. But after a few moments later, he come to his sense that he has many responsibilities, he has many promises of life. Here is promises means duties and responsibilities. This is the most important thing in the poem. So as a human being, we have many promises, we have many duties, responsibilities to our parents, to our friends, and to our country. So the poet immediately wants to leave the wonderful place, the wonderful woods, so that he can perform his responsibilities and duties. And the last 2 lines, the most important lines of the poem, and miles to go before I sleep. Here, the same line is repeated twice. The first line implies that the poet will leave the place, leave the woods, so that he can complete his journey and go home and take rest. And the last line, and miles to go before I sleep, this implies that he has many duties, such journeys to perform. He has many such journeys to perform before he reaches to deathbed. Before he dies, he has to perform many such journeys. So this is the most important thing that is totally connected to human life, because we sometimes want to take a pause in this materialistic world. The poet is also take rest. He want to take a pause in the middle of his journey. But after some time later, he comes to his sense and he thinks that this is not my place. I have many duties, many responsibilities to be performed. And the last two lines is the most important line, so we can understand the poet. And in summary, we can say that. So at the beginning and the last, from the beginning and the last, we can totally make a gist of the poem. So at first, the poet is going to a journey, and at the middle of his journey, he stops to a woods, and he knows who is the owner of the woods, and he also tells us that the owner of the woods will not see the poet stopping there, and the owner of the forest will not also see the beautiful scenery of the forest. And the second stanza, the poet says that he is not alone, he is accompanied by his little horse. But it seems very strange to the little horse that why his master has stopped to such an unusual place to take rest. Because this is not a usual place, because there is no farmhouse and there is a frozen lake. Because at one side there is a deep forest, dark forest, and it is the time evening. And another thing, there is a lake, but the lake is frozen, so that as a result they cannot they cannot drink a little water from the lake. So in the third stanza, the horse shakes his harness bell to make sound, to communicate with the poet, and to ask. And the horse wants to tell the poet that there is something mistaken by the poet, because this is not a proper place to take rest. And there is another sound that can be heard, that is the sweep of easy wind and dawning flame. And the fourth stanza, the poet again describes the beautiful place, the beautiful forest with three words: lovely, dark, and deep. And he is totally spellbound. He has forgotten all his duties and responsibilities. But after a force that makes him insane, he comes to his sense, and he tells he has many promises to perform, and he has to do all his duties and responsibilities to his family, to his friends, and to his country before he reaches to deathbed. So this is a very important and very nice poem by Robert Frost. And Robert Frost is famous for his natural poem, and we can understand the poem Stopping by Woods on a sunny evening. Now we come to another part that the poem contains. There is some figure of speech. So figure of speech, we will see many figure of speech of the poem. First of all, metaphor. Second, personification. Okay, at last, students, look. Here are some figure of speech. That is from Stopping by Woods on a sunny evening. And from the poem, we can find out some figure of speech. First of all, metaphor. Second, personification. And the third is imagery. There are some other figure of speech in the poem, that is a repetition. And we first discuss about metaphor. So there are two extended metaphors in the poem: sweep of easy wing and Johnny Flake. Second is personification. He gives his harness bells a shake, and the second sentence to ask if there is some mistake. So these two sentences is used here as a personification. It shows as if the horse is a human being. Here, the horse is compared with a human being who understands his owner's needs or inquires if they have to stop. And third is imagery. In the poem there are some images we can see, like a woods, lake, and these images are used to make readers feel things through five senses. So there are some other figures of speech. So we can easily understand the poem, and we can in future when we read more literature we will learn more figure of speech, and then we will be able to understand more about figure of speech. So thank you students for watching my video. I will meet you soon with another video. Till then, Khuda Hafiz.